Joe says, I'm 26-year-old, starting university in October. Well, first of all, Joe, thank you very much for letting me know that how old you are. And if you would have also let me know where you're tuning in from. And I'm thinking you're a man, because I'm not sure, I think we spoke before. Joper, but I think I remember you said I can call you Joe for short. But remember protocol, guys. Remind me where you're tuning in from, how old you are, and if you're a man or a woman. That helps me to put things into a good picture in my mind, who I'm talking to, where it is, what cultural backgrounds, because of knowing where you're tuning in from, possibly that can help me, or knowing if you're a man or a woman, how old you are. These are all going to help me to deliver what I want to say in a package that would be most effective for that background, that age, that gender, and so on. And he says, so I'm 26-year-old, starting university in October. In the meantime, I have a lot of free time, and I'm trying to think of something I could do with it, but nothing draws me. I've already traveled. Well, there you can always research things that you're interested in. All your experiences doesn't have to be physically physically encouraged. You don't have to necessarily get on a bus, go somewhere if you don't want to, or don't have the time for it, or you don't have that interest. But you can, walk the world on the internet and research books and things. There are lots of things that could fascinate you. Maybe you want to look at some ideas on the internet, just surf through, think of some subject, and read a little bit about it. There's so many things: nature, agriculture, trees, atmosphere, universe, other planets, science, physics, practical stuff, chemistry, things that you would enjoy, philosophy, psychology, things about you. Why don't you pick up one of my books at Me, My Psyche and I, and delve into your inner self. Find out what center means. Find out what thought means. What is the relationship between thought and consciousness? How is consciousness put together? What is desire? What are the criteria necessary for desire to be born? How is it born? What is its effect on us? What is ego? How does that come to the picture? How do they all act and interact with each other? What has fear got to do with us? How do these ingredients affect the outcome of this final product? Me, the way I feel, the way I do things, who I am, the me. How is it put together? What is it influenced by? What is the role of all these things that I just talked about into how I feel, act, and react in my life? That is the machine that you really should know a lot about. And the cost of it is probably like $6.99, $5.99, which is really, there's no financial agenda here, as you can see, because I have turned a $100 book into a $6 book by making it an ebook, so everybody can have. Because I had hundreds of people from India and other places in the world say, look, the difference between US dollar and rupees is pretty much, and $100 is lots of money here. We can't afford, not all of us, to have these books shipped there, and the charges, they're all in US dollar. And many other people from around the world said similar things, while I sold many of the books in print. But then I decided, okay, if I really want to help them, let's not have a real financial agenda here. So I turned them up, I spent money, turned them all into ebooks. All the conversion was costly. And then the ebooks, I offered them for $4.99, for transient thoughts and me. Those are thoughts that appear in your head and you have nothing to do with them, and you wonder why they're there, where did they come from, what do they mean, do they define me, does it say anything about me, does it say about my preferences, what are these thoughts doing here, how to manage them, what to do with them, what they are. And then Me, My Psyche and I, which is 360 pages, lots of stuff in there. And that's about, you know, the inner us. That's what, $5.99? And then the Breakup Pain Handbook, 600 pages, which is like less than half the videos that we have on this channel, which I turned them into a book at the time. That is what, $6.99? So these are, after PayPal and marketing charges and all that comes out of it, there is no financial interest here for me. We can all understand and accept that. So if I have done all that, that means I want you guys to all have a copy, definitely of the Me, My Psyche and I. And the Transient Thoughts and Me is also a great book for the ones who have these thoughts, unwanted thoughts appear in their heads. So get Me, My Psyche and I at $5.99, and the other one, Transient Thoughts and Me, at $4.99, and keep them on your library. You'll be amazed how often you may want to know about yourself. You know, you guys spend lots of time with many things, we all do, to learn about this machine and that, you know, toaster and that, I don't know, juicer and whatever it is, different machineries, or that car and this and that. We learn about all these things, catalogs, but you never look at the catalog that we have for ourselves. We don't know how we function. We don't know about meditation. We don't know about our mind. We don't know about our body that much. Well, many do, you know, research their body and physical fitness and all that. That's good. But most of us haven't spent any time in understanding the other more important part, the other important part of our entity, the mind, the thought, the consciousness, the fear, the desire, the ego, the energy exchange with the universe. What is that energy coming from? How can I have more conflux and more of it in me, through me, pass through me? What does it do? The power of mind. We don't know any of that. The mind and body coordination is where we can manifest our total powers, but we only focus on the physical end. So, in the meantime, Joe, go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, and get Me, My Psyche and I. And whenever you feel like it, it's not like a book you have to read it all at once. Small chapters, short chapters, few pages here and there, different topics. And you will like to learn about yourself. And you will be stronger by knowing about your machine and how it functions. It's like you will have a shield and you will have this magical powers because you can understand what it is that makes you tick. And that gives you a certain assurance and confidence and power. So that's my suggestion. Of course, why not? And then let's see what we have here going.